This Hogwarts Legacy boycott and seething hatred for JK Rowling is way worse than I thought. Some of the vocal weirdos attacking her, the Harry Potter brand, and Harry Potter fans are just crazy. And if you'll stick with me, I'll show you an insane threat I've uncovered, made not just against Rowling, but her entire family going forward, by a supposed journalist, no less. Don't harass anyone I mention here, by the way. Let them be the ones skimming the sewers. I've always vaguely been aware of the Mary Sue, a seemingly extreme left site covering pop culture or, in recent years, just spewing hate about anything anybody does that doesn't align with their strange ideologies. But I've never felt the need to dive into those stanky skank waters myself. Well, guess who finally got themselves a scuba tank? God help me. Let's take a look at just one article by one of their writers who seems particularly fixated on Harry Potter creator JK Rowling, a journalist who I assume gets paid to spew this hateful drivel on a daily basis. Don't worry, I won't subject you to the whole thing, but you may need therapy yourself after just a couple of screenshots. The goblins of the series are portrayed as beady-eyed and hook-nosed beings that control the banking system to further their own greedy ends. I wonder if Kanye West read these books as a child, because they're probably where he gets a lot of his anti-Semitic views. Gross. This is referring to the assumption that goblins in the Harry Potter universe are somehow representative of Jewish people. And you know what? This largely speaks for itself, doesn't it? If you look at short, ugly fantasy creatures and immediately think of a Jewish person, you're the one whose mind seems so full of hate and cynicism that a fantasy creature makes you connect those dots. That isn't normal, nor rational. Next, rereading with a modern eye, it's hard not to cringe at how dated they feel. The lack of a diverse cast of characters is a major detriment to the series. This is another one of those you problems. You are apparently so hung up on race that if one happens to be shown too prominently in your eyes, you seem to lose your fucking mind. Is that not racism? Never mind the fact that within the fictional Harry Potter universe, Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry seems to almost exclusively accept British students, with maybe one or two known exceptions. Maybe. Other countries have their own magic schools. But hey, I could be wrong. I'm not really a big Harry Potter fan, and this is just from some cursory research. And we can't expect journalists to do research, can we? That would be, so unreasonable. It's bad enough that Rowling named the only East Asian character featured in the book Cho Chang. Are you under the impression nobody in the history of the world has ever been named Cho Chang or something? I don't feel safe making that assumption. I guess you do. Rather than moving the plot forward, Cho Chang often feels like a distraction to the main action of the book. She is the object of the main character's turbulent teenage affections, and then is ultimately discarded and replaced with Ginny Weasley. Okay, maybe you don't know how stories work. See, the book series is named Harry Potter. The main character is Harry Potter. Harry Potter is the protagonist, or main character in layman terms. Cho Chang showed up in the 4th book of the series. If she were the main character, the series would probably not be called Harry Potter. Cho Chang is what you call an ancillary character. I will now flash the definition on screen for this person, though I suspect it won't matter because we all know people like this love to change definitions to suit their agendas. And also, just in case this person has never experienced love or known the touch of another, I should probably explain. Most romantic relationships are temporary. Teenage relationships, especially, like in the case of Harry and Cho. There's a chance you feel bitter about being left by someone yourself. And I'm sorry. But that is no reason to bitch about it in the context of a kid's novel. Love interests have, and always will, weave in and out of fictional stories to suit the plot and the protagonist. Subscribe for more like this. But now here's what you've all been waiting for. Just try to wrap your head around this paragraph. JK Rowling, and the J and the K, by the way, are fucked up in the formatting. Great quality control there. JK Rowling made off with billions of dollars. While we can't control her financial legacy, we can control her artistic legacy. We can choose to rag on these books until the end of time. And at least that will stick it to Rowling's great-great-great-grandchildren. So what if they weren't responsible for their great-great-grandmother's problematic views? They're rich kids. They could use a little love tap from karma here and there. Maybe a big love tap. Huge. Knock some teeth out. Wow. This individual is apparently so bitter, so full of hate, so extremely intolerant of the views and opinions of people they disagree with, that they are imagining the descendants of her bloodline being abused and assaulted. And that makes this person happy. I think that says all that needs to be said about this person. Actually, scratch that, because it seems they've also written a pseudo-hit piece on a 21-year-old actor for accepting a voice role in the Hogwarts Legacy video game, a job he actually accepted several years ago at this point, likely when he was still a teenager. Holy shit. I'm Baffled, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye. So in one of my recent videos, I made a big deal about wokies, and somebody in the comments asked me to describe and define what a wokie is, and now I'm gonna do just that. Thank you. Wonderful crowd. If you think Aretha Franklin's song Natural Woman is akin to hate speech, you might be a wokie. If you think the movie Junior is based in reality, you might be a wokie. If you open up a pack of crayons and the white one makes you fear for your life, you might be a wokie. Thank you. I'll be here all week. If you think Prince Harry is an endearing underdog, you might be a wokie. If you think a period is just a state of mind and men can experience it too, you might be a wokie. And lastly, if you think gas stoves are the reason you're so brain dead, you might be a wokie. Good night, everybody.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!